All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and it's an absolute honor to sit down with my friend and the legend Tyler Scott from Team Hammer M4 Vision Wheel Ecstar Suzuki. Man, I know that probably took a while to get used to saying.
Yeah, it definitely took a few weekends. John definitely gave me a hard time when I first got on the team, making sure I got the name right. That was the number one thing.
Yeah, it was a mouthful. I wrote it down just so I would say it right because it's definitely a little bit of a tongue twister. But listen, Tyler, we got a lot to talk about. For those that did not catch our first podcast together, it was his introduction story of his humble beginnings to where he is now. Now the 2025 season has already come and gone, bro, and it come and went like this. It just seemed like we just started, right?
Yeah,
So I want to take it off at the beginning of the season. I want to talk a little bit about preseason, the expectations coming in, which of course I already know what you're going to say: win the championship. Um, and we'll just take it a little bit round by round and talk about your season and what's going on for 2026 and all the other stuff in between. So, Tyler, welcome back, my friend.
thank you, man. It's great to be back in here. The last podcast was super fun, and I'm excited to talk about everything that went on this year and from the start to the end.
Yeah, me too. So listen, let's get into it, man. I know you're out there right now at Barber, but let's talk about preseason about 2025. Going into the season, obviously, again, I just said it. The expectation is to obviously win the championship. But what other goals did you have set? Just personal goals that you wanted to achieve at the beginning of the season too, as well.
Definitely, like win the championship, win some races. It didn't pan out exactly how we wanted that chapter to play out, but you know, the preseason was really good. Went through it with no injuries. I've been lucky in my career so far, like no major injuries, just like a finger injury back in like 2019. But yeah, no injuries. The off season was great. I did a ton of riding. We go down. We have a house down in like Brooksville, 45 minutes north of Tampa. We go down day after Christmas or 2 days after Christmas, and we have some kids come down, primarily flat track kids that are a little younger, trying to get them on road race bikes and stuff. And every day we're on some sort of two-wheeled piece of machinery, whether it's a bicycle or motorcycle or supermoto, motocross, something. We're always on two wheels down there, and we're in the gym every day. So it's really nice to go down there um, for the 3 months before Daytona because every day it's like very structured from 6, 7 in the morning to probably about 8 at night, just training all day. And there's definitely a big difference when we go down there and we kind of isolate all the training, and we begin to see a big difference with me and my training and my fitness and the level that I can perform, and as well as the people that I bring down with me and help teach how to make them stronger and bigger and like learn how to do road race and learn how to do things the correct way. And it's just really good for everyone.
Oh, absolutely. And it's awesome what you're doing also, with the future legends of the sport is what I call it, helping, the younger kids. And to me, and I said this before, is flat track to me is one of the best ways to train for road racing. That and endurance racing too, as well, right? Which you guys took part of at Daytona and Azra last weekend. But we'll get into that towards the end of the season. Approaching 2025. Obviously, the first round was Daytona. Going into Daytona, man, it's such a unique, magical place. It's like you pull into this cathedral of just it's the mecca of racing here in America, and you feel the energy in the past champions that's won there. So going into Daytona, obviously, again, the expectation is to win that golden Rolex, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Daytona like kicks off the year. This year, it looks like it's going to be a points race, which should be pretty cool. It might change some things, might change a little bit some of the riders that may enter it, and um, but Daytona is always the same. The off-season preparation is key, but you need to have a good team behind you, and you need to be consistent and precise. And it's not really all about the lap time, especially now that the Rolex goes to the race winner and not qualifying. Um, It's just good to get a good spot on the grid and make it through that first stint before the pit stops. And if you can, if you can do a good job in those first um, 15 to 20 laps, and then you hand it off to your team. And if your team's good, you should be there all the way to the end. And that's what happened this year. We were all the way there to the end, last 7 laps, and we made it. All it took was one small mistake between me and my teammate Richie. I made a mistake in one corner, and then he made a mistake in the other, and it hurt us both on that lap. And then the next lap, Heron went, I think, one of the fastest laps, if not the fastest lap of the race, and then kind of bridged the gap. And then we kind of lost the opportunity to play for the win in the closing laps of the 200. And I battled with him and finished third. It was very close. And um, but yeah, so if we can get, I think the main goal for Daytona, at least for me, get a clean start, just be in that lead pack, which this year was pretty big. I think it was like 15 riders, and then when everyone goes into pit lane, you kind of hand the baton off to the team to do a good job, at least on that first pit stop, and then you kind of see where everyone filters in, and it takes that group of 15 down to 5 or 7, give or take. And then same thing with the second pit stop. Like, mistakes are always going to happen, and um, not saying that they can't happen to everyone, but we got. I don't want to say lucky, because we definitely put in the work this year, and the team, the whole Vision Wheel and for Ecstar Suzuki team put in a lot of work this year, and our pit stops were pretty good, and we were actually a little bit ahead of Josh Heron out of the last pit stop, and we were there till the few small mistakes came late in the race. But I mean, the preparation was going to be key. Like, no injuries on the off season, like super fit. Um, like, we'll go back into the heavy, like, lifting and heavy training just now that it's off season time, kind of after this weekend, I would say, and going to Daytona how we went into it this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And Daytona again, it's such a unique track where the setup don't work anywhere else too at all, right? And it's also about strategy and pit stops.
Yeah. Yeah, the setup's a little different, and then we have different tires there specific for Daytona. We were there last weekend testing some stuff, and the weekend went pretty decent. But yeah, Daytona's definitely unique. You pull in, you see the high banks. It's an unreal feeling, especially the first time you go there and the first time you actually make the transition up onto the banking. Now it kind of loses that edge of newness, but it's still a very unique place to race, especially with top level riders in the world.
Oh, absolutely. And to me, the super sport is the most stat class we have in Moto America, hands down. I mean, there's so many fast people in super sport. It's ridiculous. The level to me is so high in our super sport class. Not taking nothing away from superbike because it's high too, but there's not as many in the front pack that can win a race on any given day as super sport classes. So yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, Daytona comes and goes. And second round was Atlanta, man. Atlanta's one of my favorite tracks. I love going there. The atmosphere, again, it's unique and different in its own way. It's a big track. It's a track you can't really get a lot of rest on either.
Yeah.
It's technical. So going into Atlanta, of course, like every race is, I want to win, right? But coming to Atlanta, talk us to about your Atlanta weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta was pretty good. Um, we felt good there, and we were struggling a lot with a little bit of the chassis. First couple races of the year, there was new parts homologated for the Super Sport class and for the 750 this year. So just trying to dial stuff in, and we did testing, but not at all the different tracks, and just trying to figure out what worked where. And we kind of suffered a little bit. I'm gonna say Atlanta and Barber a little bit, just trying to play catch up a little bit. And I mean, this year, once again, a new crew chief. And I think that, like, just getting used to the people again, like, that's a thing every year. Um, for the 2026 season, we're gonna retain the same crew chief. Shiloh's been amazing all year. I think keeping the crew chief and keeping some consistency will definitely benefit in the performance of our results. And it'll the beginning of the year will start off a little bit quicker. Not saying that it didn't. We had a really good weekend at Daytona, then kind of got flipped upside down for the next two rounds as far as Atlanta and Barber went.
Yeah, absolutely. That that is a question I have, man. Is as a rider, a lot of people don't understand how important it is to have that consistent team behind you at all times, right? And when there's
Yeah.
a change that happens, how difficult is it to not work together, but communicate like you had with your old teammate?
Yeah, it's not that necessarily hard to communicate, but after a full year of communicating with one person, they kind of learn how you talk about the bike and the things that you're looking for and the changes that you make that fix the problems that the rider asks for. And every time you go to a new crew chief, you kind of got to learn each other again. Even though the information is out there on the table, you kind of have to learn exactly what each person is looking for. And like the year was pretty good, and the performance of um like my riding with the team this year was really good. But like starting off the season with a good crew chief from the previous season, I think is going to make a huge difference.
Oh, 110%. I couldn't agree more. It's so important for you as not only a legend but so fast, and what you need to focus on is just what you need to do out there on the track. You can't have those distractions, back in the team. And I tell everybody that how important it is for a rider to be at home and
Yeah.
for you to just be free of your mind to focus on what you need to do, which is ride those proper mega wheelies as you always do, and win races, man. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, absolutely. And then of course, going into Barber's around that I've never been to, Tyler. I want to go. I want to go to Vintage Fest next year at Barber. Everybody talks about the museum and the layout. So it's a track I've never been to. So talk us about, going into round 3 at Barber and how awesome that place is.
Yeah, Barber's awesome. We're here right now actually testing this weekend, doing the endurance race tomorrow. And the facility I would say is like none other. The upkeep there is amazing. It's like everything's perfect. There's no weeds. Everything's like golf course grass mowed. Like everything's beautiful there. And um you if you go, you have to go into the museum. The museum's awesome. They have a catwalk bridge that goes across the track. You can watch pretty much over half the track just like standing on the bridge. So that's really cool as well. And um yeah, no, Barber's probably one of our better tracks. Um as far as the like surface and the facility goes, I would say Barber's definitely um one of the nicer ones. And as far as the like facility goes, it's probably the nicest, most upkept one.
Oh, I'm sure it beats the showers at Road America for sure. The push button showers, you're constantly, yeah, putting your head against it. Yeah, yeah, I've been there. So yeah, it's you're laughing because you know it's true, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. So yeah, I mean, Barber, it's an amazing track, and I'm gonna say this before we even continue, man. I'm proud of your season and all your accomplishments, man. All the emotions you always give me and everybody else out there watching you race is absolutely amazing, man. So
Thank you. I appreciate it.
yeah, man, no problem. So, Barber, and then after Barber, I'm pretty sure it was Road America, if I'm mistaken, right? Road America after
Yeah.
Barber?
Yeah. Road
Yeah.
America. Road America is always a pretty good track for us, Rain or shine, we've always got some pretty good results there. And unfortunately this year I wasn't able to secure a win there, but we were really close all weekend. We kind of got the front end problems fixed that we had at um, Barber and Atlanta. We fixed the front end problems, so I felt more confident on the bike. I think we were messing with fork setting that weekend as well, but race one, I think it was race one or race two. I think race one, I got second. We were there in the battle. Um, yeah, we were there in the battle, and I felt I could lead. I had an incident on lap one with Blake Davis, just racing, got out under the curb, and then the race was pretty mellow after that. Then the last lap, Cam Peterson kind of rolled into me going into the braking zone in five, which kind of sucked. He kind of hurt his hand too on the exhaust, which sucks. But um, I think that was my push to trying to lead and win the race. Then he hit me. I ran wide and kind of got a little lucky. PJ and Schultz made a dicey pass into the chicane on the back straight, and PJ went wide and Schultz went into the grass, and that was kind of the giving mistake that gave me second place in that race. And I mean, that was cool. I felt I could have won that race if it wasn't for the mistake. But it's racing; anything can happen. And Sunday we were in the group the whole time. Actually, I believe we set a new track record in the race, but we the pace the with the chassis I had, I couldn't consistently like hold that pace. And we weren't running very far off track record pace, but I think there was one lap where I was sitting back there just kind of using everyone as a guide, and I just dropped like 4 tenths and set that lap time, got close, and then the chassis is kind of very thin line, how he had it set up, and the pace was incredibly fast. Every year in SuperSport from the first year to now, it's like a second a year. The pace has gotten faster, so we're breaking records every year. Everything's going faster. There's more development. There's young kids coming in. There's superbike guys dropping down, and everyone's moving all over. And nothing about the SuperSport class is getting easier each year. And the most important thing for us is just keeping the consistency and just staying on top for the next season. And I think we built a pretty good plan and program to do that going into the 2026 season, retaining Shiloh as the crew chief. She's been amazing all year. Like having the good mechanics on the Vision Wheel for Ecstar Suzuki team, and just fixing that small little background detail. I think our showing performance is going to be a lot better and a lot more consistent. Where this year kind of wasn't the year that I was hoping for. Didn't really exemplify what I could do on the bike just because of some things that we struggled with. But Road America, all in all, we were at least there the whole time. We had on paper a good position on Saturday, and track record on Sunday, which is kind of cool. But it shows we can do the pace. We were just lacking a little bit of the consistency.
Oh man, you you absolutely killed it that weekend. I mean, in my personal opinion, it's you're right. It's racing is racing, and again, I can't express how important it is not only to have the same be on the same team consistently throughout the years, right? Because you progress and you grow, and you can really develop the machine to make it 100% yours, and so you can go out there and wrap up all those championships. I know you're going to do in the future, my friend, for sure.
Yeah.
100%. But before we get in the next round, I think it was our next round after Barber off the top of my head. Was it Laguna Seca or the Ridge?
So we went to in between Road America and the Ridge. We actually went to the Loudon Classic.
That's right. The
Yep.
Loudon, dude. Yeah. So let's talk about Loudon here in a minute. I'm going to get to a couple of these questions. And the first one is Eli Colby says, Ty, get out of Alabama. I want to be here alone. Yeah, Eli is awesome. And then he says, ask Ty about our coaching techniques at Johnny Lewis's flat track camp.
Yeah. So yeah, that's funny. So like I said, we go down day after Christmas. And Johnny Lewis, he used to race for my dad back in 2010, I believe, for a couple years, and kind of grew up with Johnny, kind of mentoring me and training with him from like since I was a baby. But I got the invite to go down there to coach, and Eli was another coach, and Eli he does some supermoto, and he just started doing some flat track, but we had a really good time on 150s and stuff and 100s riding there down there at Johnny Lewis's. And I mean, if any of you guys want to learn, I mean, just anything and be more comfortable on a bike, that's a great. He runs a great program there at his facility. Tons of bikes. Um, the dirt's really good, and for the schools, the tracks are beautifully prepped, and he has a pretty. Um, it's a good moto track that he has. It's pretty physically demanding. The flat track was nice. He has like a TT course as well, and um, it's always a good time when I get the invite to go over there. Or, I ask him to come over there. It's an amazing facility over there.
Oh, 110% Eli. Um, he's an awesome person. He's super funny, man. It's always an honor to see Eli for sure. And his dad too. I remember the first time I met his dad at Jersey. I think it was 23. Actually, excuse me. He actually gave me in Jersey one of his leather suits Eli did and signed it. And when I first met his dad, it was like our energies was just I just connected, and it was just like we knew each other for the three lifetimes. They're absolutely amazing people. So let's talk about the Loudon, man. So the Loudon Classic is one of those one-off every year events that everybody shows up to because the prize money's it's a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah, that for sure. The Loudon Classic's an awesome race. I never went up there till the till the money came out because I was always told it wasn't a great track and it's this and that and it's dangerous. And went up there the first year and went around for the first time, and I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of see what everyone says. And then started getting up to pace, and I mean, yeah, it's a little bumpy. It's not. I I think people complain about the track way too much than it is. I mean, it is a little dangerous in some spots, but kind of all the tracks are in a way. Like, I mean, there's no track really I can say other than Coda that's like foolproof, like totally safe. And racing isn't a safe sport. It was never meant to be a safe sport. But going up there, yeah, there's a little bit more risk there, but that's one of the tracks that I have like the most fun at for sure. I mean, the lap times are like a minute long, and for me, it's like a great rider's track. It's a little bumpy. In the rain is decently sketchy. I will say the first year that I won it was in the rain. And that was kind of tiptoeing around and people hitting like banana peels in front of me, and like it was a little sketchy in the rain, but I had fun, and I'm a pretty decent rain rider as well, and managed to pull off the win there. And last year I had a good um, battle with Hayden Gillum there, and Bobby Fong. And then this year we showed up, and it was a great time, and it rained less than it did last year. I think we missed one morning practice, which is good. It's kind of known for rain up there, but we had a really good race this year. And we had a good group too for the first half of the race. I was trying to break away, and I mean, Eli's a local up there too. He's really fast up there. I think he was in that lead group, and then I think a little bit over 60% of the way, because it's a 25 lap race. Um, I managed to break a little bit of a gap and kind of work off of that, and I won with like I don't know 2 seconds or 3 seconds to spare. But that track. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people don't like it. It's with all the tracks that I've ridden overseas, like Mugello and Oregon. It's definitely like my in the top 8 of like my favorite tracks to ride. Not because of like how like beautiful it was like Mugello, but just I have so much fun riding up there.
Yeah, I mean it's always important to have your favorite tracks and have a lot of fun, and you just saying that track being in your top 8 with Magello. Magello is one of my favorite tracks too. I've never been there. Well, on PS5 I've been there many times on the PS4, right, on video games, but not in real life. It's one of those tracks on my bucket list for sure to go
Yeah.
to. Yeah, Loudon, again, congratulations. I mean, it's I listen. You're an absolute legend, not only on the track but off the track, man. You are a super human being. You are super nice, and man, I just love your energy, Tyler. You are absolutely amazing human being, man. You are.
Thank you.
So going into Laguna Seca after the Loudon Classic, Laguna Seca, I've actually been there. I went there in 2005, the first time MotoGP come back in America when Yamaha, what off the top of my head, was it like $3 million or something like that? They paid to move some walls and make it safe for the
Yeah.
MotoGP. It's just like any track you go to on TV, it don't do it no justice at all until you get there and you're looking up at the corkscrew and you're walking up the
Yeah.
hill. After about the sixth time, I was like, yeah, I'm done walking up this hill for the weekend because it's
Yeah.
steep. But it's such a beautiful place. Again, it's like Daytona, right? You feel this certain energy. Every racetrack has its own unique energy and vibe to it, but those two places definitely have their own more intense feeling to it. So going into Laguna Seca, never rode the track. Everybody talks about the corkscrew, but to me,
Yeah.
Tyler, it's not the corkscrew that to me is the best. It's turn one because you're what was it, fifth gear on a 600 pin, and it's a blind
Fifth or
corner
sixth.
left,
Yeah.
yeah, uphill, right, to the left, and it's
Yep.
not a straight, and it's totally blind. So you really
Yeah.
got to know where you are approaching that
Yeah.
corner, where to put it. So yeah, let's talk about Laguna Seca, man. It's one of my favorite tracks.
I'm gonna comment on the Ridge first. Ridge was actually
Oh
there
yeah, that's
before
right.
Laguna. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, the Ridge.
But so we won the Loudon Classic. That was great. So we went from having clamp problems and like some chassis problems the first after Daytona, the first 2 rounds that were points paying. Kind of figured some stuff out at Road America. Went up to Loudon, felt really good there. I felt good there every year. Got the bike set up. We won that. We went to the Ridge. And the Ridge weekend was very hectic. First practice session kind of got rear-ended. Um, we didn't crash, but it messed something up in the Lambda. So we go out for quali, and the engine had like less power and less power. And basically, one of the key features that controlled the motor, when the rider hit me, it got damaged, and we blew a motor up towards the honestly, from the beginning of the qualifying, to the end, and then we managed to get a pretty good spot. I think I was on the front row, Saturday morning, and Saturday was a pretty good race. Like, I dropped I mean, me and Matt dropped everyone in the field by a big margin. So that's a track that specifically I've struggled on the 750 with, like with setup, and I'm like, if we can figure out the bike at the Ridge, we can figure out the bike anywhere, just because we've gone in circles so much there. And the race on Saturday, we were kind of pushing that, like we were within a second, under a second, and I made a small mistake going in the last few laps. I wasn't over pushing, but just kind of got up on the curb a little bit more, with maybe a little bit too much bar input, maybe in there a little fast, and there's some bumps there, and usually you almost tuck the front over the bumps. It's like, I think, four, you know? And then just one lap I came in there just a little bit more bar input, and it didn't stop at four. It went like five, six, seven, eight, and I tucked the front. But I was able to pick the bike back up and manage sixth, which was good. I think there was like with 3 laps to go. If it wasn't for that, I'm confident I could have battled for the win, but I made a mistake, and it was lucky enough to get the bike back up and going and finished the race pretty good. And they fixed the bike up. It wasn't bad, just like a little low side, some scrapes. Sunday morning is kind of what snowballed problems from. I mean, it just snowballed problems. So Sunday morning warm up. Um, everyone's like, yeah, you don't need to go push and warm up. You don't need to like, you just know not to push and warm up. And I I'm at the top of the ridge, and there's this drop down, and there's this bump that I didn't hit all weekend, and I was a little bit offline, and I hit this bump at the top, not even on the brakes yet, and I tucked the front, and I slide here a mile away. Like, I mean, I slid from the apex at the top of the hill in between the barriers and almost picked myself up on my feet into a chair, basically. I mean, I got up, walked 10 feet, and found a chair. But the bike was, luckily it didn't flip. It kind of just skated on the side. We got it fixed up for the race, and it was a super crunch, even though it wasn't too messed up. Like, it was still a crunch for the race. Um, got it together like 10 minutes before the race and did the first couple laps, and there was some oil spewing out of the right side engine cover on my foot. And even though we did really good on Saturday, I was using the rear brake heavily to help me turn. I would say kind of a band-aid for the chassis, because when we have an absolute perfect bike, the rear brake that I use is kind of more minimal. But that weekend, it was really working out that I was using a lot of rear brake, and I can do the lap times, and so my foot's kind of like blown off the foot peg because of the oil, and like I think I hit a false neutral and ran real wide, like off of the like the longest straight that goes up the hill there. I think it's like a fifth to first or second gear corner, false neutral there. Ran off, lost a bunch of positions, and I think I ended up sixth there. But we go we go from that weekend to Laguna. Laguna's a great track, like you said. Also another track that's hard for us with the 750, and we struggled a lot that weekend, and I couldn't really figure out why. I got behind I think it was Schultz the one quali session, figured out some lines, but still didn't really feel comfortable um that weekend. And the results didn't really show too much. And I think we went to yeah, I mean, the results didn't really show that, and I really wasn't too happy with the chassis or the setup there either. And
Mm.
then, I mean, that kind of goes into Virginia. So that this originates from the ridge, from that Sunday morning crash. We go to Virginia. I had an accident right before Virginia at New Jersey Motorsports Park doing some testing by myself. There's a rider offline, last second, cuts down, like had nowhere to go. I went into the back of him and crashed and kind of messed up my I forget what they called it, but basically like in my sternum and some breathing stuff. So Virginia, um I hate to like make excuses, but there was definitely some difficulty, like breathing for sure. That was the biggest thing. Kind of just felt like someone was standing on my chest the whole time. And so I kind of struggled with that a little bit, um, more than a little bit all weekend, more of a lot of bit. But after that weekend, I still had problems with the chest, and we were watching videos and stuff. And I think we came to there were some other things that help us come to this, but the conclusion was that the frame was a little tweaked with things that we saw physically on the bike. And we changed the frame and go to Coda, and all of a sudden the bike feels good again. And so I think that ridge crash that I had on that Sunday morning kind of snowballed. through those few rounds. Not saying that it would have been different, but I think it would have been, in a sense. And then, yeah, I mean, Virginia wasn't that great for us. We did all right. I think I forget the results there. It wasn't horrible. It was better than California. I know that.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Um,
remember where you placed. I wanna say it was definitely in the top 10 for sure. I wanna say 7th or 6th again,
yeah,
if
I
I
think it was a
remember.
sixth and a fifth. I think we were
Yeah,
inside the top five. But
yeah.
I mean, like I like Virginia. I like Laguna. Just didn't line up for us this year. Just with all that stuff happening. And then we go to Mid Ohio. Mid Ohio's a great track. That's like another one. Um, Kind of like I wouldn't say like Barber, but the energy there with the people, it's super cool. It's like it's a tighter track, but it also has fast straightaways. And I mean, there's a lot of history with the track that I wasn't even around for. Um, I heard it used to be super crazy back in the day, parties, like, but that track, that's a really nice track. They just repaved it 2 years ago, I think, and we've done fairly well there every year that we've gone there. And that was kind of like the turning point with us. We were like, all right, we need to change some stuff. We need this, 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 and we go into Ohio with like a different type of structured plan. And then we went through Ohio and we did very well.
Yes, you did, my friend. Yes, you did. Ohio. So, yeah, it was the first time last year we've been back in, I think, 10 or 11 years. MotoAmerica has been back. It's definitely a unique track. It's unique, and as far as the paddock goes too, as well. It's unique in that
Yeah,
aspect. You got the upper and the lower, then you got the garages and the gated community kind of around it. It's got a unique feel. It's great as a racer standpoint, but also a fan standpoint too. It's not such a big track. You got to have a scooter to get around to see
yeah,
everywhere. Like VIR, that's my home track. So yeah, I got most of my races and track knowledge besides Phoenix International Raceway. I mean, not Firebird International Raceway out there in Phoenix. So yeah, VR holds a little special spot in my heart for sure. And then yeah, man, real quick, touching back at the Ridge, real quick, man. Saturday after that crash is when you tore your fairing off too, and still finished sixth, and your foot peg was broke too as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I forget. Yeah,
Because I was like, look at Tyler go, man. Rip the fairing off and straightened up your
that
clip
was.
on. It
I
was just
think. I think what you're. I think that was Barber in the rain.
okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that was. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was Barber in the rain.
That
There
was
was a
awesome. I was
decel.
like, yes.
We were actually talking about that today. We were testing today, and we were actually talking about engine brake strategy and stuff. And it was just a decel high side that I saved and turned it into arguably like worst case scenario because I like half saved it and then just went right over the front of the bike. But yeah, like luckily I was able to pick up the bike and like it was rideable enough to do the last two laps.
It was awesome. I was like, I was screaming. My wife's like, "Why? Who you in there hollering at?" I was like, "Dude, you got to see this replay as soon as they show it. Come in here real quick." Yeah, it was again the emotions, man, that I get watching my friends race. It's incredible. I feel like I lose my voice over the weekend because I'm screaming so much. If I'm not there, obviously it's at the TV, so it's
Yeah.
freaking yeah, absolutely amazing. So before we continue to, because I think our next round after that was Circuits of America, Coda,
Yes.
which is an absolute legend of a track. I've been there for the past 7 years for the MotoGP race. I want to get a couple more of these comments though. So we got Ryan Rawls. He says, Tyler Scott, you the man. Much love from RRL.
Yeah, just we were just at Daytona with Ryan. Always a good time. He actually he has one of my suits. We're getting him a helmet here soon. So he's a great dude. Always enjoy talking to him, hanging out with him at the races, and look forward to seeing you in maybe in the off season, but definitely Daytona. Can't wait to see you in March again, dude.
Absolutely, man. And we got Bu. He says, how's it going, gents? Good, my friend.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty good.
sitting here with the legend Tyler Scott, man. What are you talking about? Life is great. Uh, Ratu Des says Ty rides his super motard so aggressively it's scary to watch. Slide in, spin it up, drift, and wheelie out of every corner.
Yeah, no, the our my supermoto, I'm gonna say my supermoto season's about to kick off down in Florida, so I'm excited to get back on that thing, and I mean, yeah, I mean Bushnell is my home track, and if you guys don't know, it's the go-kart track that everyone does the videos sliding down the hill, dragging their elbows. So
Yeah.
that's Bushnell. That's about, let's say, 30 minutes from my house, and I'm usually there about 2, 3 times a week. So if you guys ever want to ride, just hit me up and I'll be there.
It's awesome because that corner you're talking about is a left downhill corner. It's actually a left corner.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it's man, I love watching you guys on those motards. I'm in awe every time. I'm like, dude, how's it possible you guys can even do that? And it's just it's amazing to watch. It just also goes the skill level you have on two wheels and the amount of feel you have. Not only out of the tires, which is the most important, but what the chassis is telling you too as well. Um,
yeah,
and a lot of people, don't realize too. Just real technical tip is on a motorcycle when Tyler Scott's doing what he does out there on the track, the forks also flex to the side too, right? Because they have to flex.
yeah.
That's
I
like
mean,
the
everything flexes, you know.
yes.
Well, I'll get into that a little bit when we go into Coda. Funny enough, but yeah, everything flexes, and my if anyone is wondering, my supermoto bike is completely stock. Like they are really good, completely stock off the floor. Um, we just do tires, tire pressure, still has the air forks. I think if there's one part that could make that bike better, would be triple clamps with adjustable offsets because they're kind of prone to front end chatter. But I don't feel like dumping money into the supermoto bike. It's good enough, and I mean, I can do 52s at Bushnell, so it's like it's good enough. And they're really, really good off the showroom floor. It's just when you try and go set track records, if you're getting very technical, and I mean, if you have the money and you want to make the bike absolutely perfect and never chatter and just be like perfect, I think triple clamps would be the first performance mod that would really make a difference.
Oh, for sure. It's always amazing to watch. I love all your videos when it comes, all of them, but especially the supermotos. Again, I watch them and I'm just like, I wish, right? Like, I one day maybe, but every time I try to replicate that, yeah, I either end up in the hospital or laid up in my house. It's just like people at, hey, dude, have you ever drug your elbow? I'm like, of course I've drugged my elbow many times, but as soon as I do it, my shoulder comes beside it, and then my hips, and I'm like, oh, there goes my motorcycle. I wonder how expensive this is gonna be, right?
Yeah,
So, yeah, it's always fun, not fun.
yeah, and the supermoto bikes. I mean, it's probably different when you go to a bigger track, but at like Bushnell and Anderson, the small go-kart tracks, like when we crash them, like we have like the bar sliders on it and stuff, and it's very rarely that we actually need a lever or like anything. Like I've had a few, for me, they were small crashes, but then the bike overreacted majorly and I mean flipped like 20 feet in the air. They have composite subframes. Like it cracked. It probably didn't need to be changed. Um, like a clutch lever, I think. In all my supermoto, we've done a subframe, one clutch lever, and a front brake reservoir, I believe. And like the sliders are still good from when we put them on there. We had a 2019, and then now I have a 2023, I believe. Um, but yeah, those bikes hold up incredibly well.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Matter of fact, Eddie K says, "See, no excuses, Simcoe. Get you a stock sumo, right? Yeah, I have an CRF 100. I just need to throw some sumo tires on it and take it out to the kart track
Those
at
things,
VRR.
those things are great.
They are.
That's what that's what we put. all of our like flat track kids on to start. Like if they've never done road, and we've taken them from like never riding it to dragging knee and figuring out like all different types of apexes in one day. And I mean, it doesn't need to be fast to learn. All you really need is a bike with tires and a parking lot, and you can learn a lot. I mean, the basics that I learned at New Jersey Main GP from their like 3-day camps and stuff that they have, that actually started back up now with Marcello Di Giovanni, a kid that I raced with growing up, super nice kid. Um, that's kind of where I learned the base things about everything that I know about road racing because I came from flat track. I didn't do road racing right away, but those guys definitely helped me build the base to everything that I've know now and kind of helped with the progression from a very young age. It started with them.
Oh, 100%. That's why I'm a huge fan of SFL Mini GP, whether it's Jersey or South Florida. I mean, that's where
Yeah.
a lot of the legends in MotoAmerica come out of. You, Posh, Rodeo, Julian Carrera, Avery Dreyer, Ella. I mean, the list is,
Mazziato, like even the people
yeah.
that don't race anymore, everyone
Yep.
that there's a lot of people that come out of New Jersey or Florida Main GP that are top kids now in the American road racing series.
110%, man. 110%. So before we get into Coda and everything that flexes on a motorcycle, Khalil says, looking good, fellas. You too, my friend. You
Thank
too.
you.
And then CVN, Cycle Vision Network. Tyler is due for a Daytona 200 win. Let's go. You right, man. You right.
Yeah,
That's
we've been close. So I mean, there's a lot of people, like especially Josh Hayes, that can say he's been close, but I think I have full confidence that we have in me and in the team, we have what we need to win. I mean, there's obviously a little bit of luck that goes with it, and I mean it's anyone's race really. But I think I'll say it this way: I think we have the team, the consistency, and the experience to get it to last that last 15 laps, and then it's up to me to make it happen.
and you will, my friend, 100%, no doubt you will. This year you'll get that Rolex. So the next time I have you on, you can show everybody that Rolex you wanted the 200. So yeah, man, going into Coda again, it's our top 8 racetrack in America. I mean, it's the best we have to offer here in America as far as top level racetrack goes. The facilities, just everything that goes along with it. Coda is also one of those very unique tracks. It's super long, fast straights. I mean, it's got everything. Every corner you can imagine on a racetrack, Coda's got. Turn one to me is turn 1 and 12. The at the back straight, that
Yeah.
tight left hand corner. Those are my 2 favorite corners of Coda for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Coda's, I would say Coda's I don't know exactly. Road America might be technically bigger. But I would say Coda's probably the biggest. Especially like you've been there for MotoGP. Walking around at Coda is fun, but on Sunday, like your feet hurt. I mean, it is such a big, amazing facility. From like going up in the tower to going to the S's. I was there for a MotoGP race when I was a kid, with KTM. It was like a dealer meeting kind of from KTM, right when KTM came into MotoGP, but we were there, and that was the first time that I've ever been to the track watching and walking around. And I mean, Coda is an amazing facility. It's massive. But I mean, we had a pretty good weekend at Coda, I would say. Um, we had some good battles, and the only thing about Coda that I I had a complaints about was a little bit of flex in the bike. The S's there are super fast. It's super like high stress into the bars and the inputs that you have to do to get through those S's fast. I mean, I think it's like third or fourth gear wide open, almost on the limiter, like into that first left, and then just flipping and slowing down and making sure you hit everything absolutely perfect. It's not easy to be consistent, and the actual like force that you have to put in the bike to make it happen is a lot. And we were struggling with I'm not going to talk about it directly, but we were struggling with some chassis problems all weekend, and it was something that we couldn't fix that weekend, which was really frustrating for me because I strongly felt and believed that if we could have fixed it there, it might have helped us perform a little bit better. And I mean, we got it all sorted out for Jersey. Um, but like Coda's awesome. Like the weather was great. I mean, it wasn't too hot this year either. It was only 95 degrees, and for a lot of you that's really hot. But I mean, 2 years ago we were when you're halfway through a race sitting in the pits for a red flag and it's 115 humid heat. I'll take 95 all day. But Coda was really good. I always have fun racing at Coda, and especially your point on the long straightaways. I prefer long straightaways. I've always been a really hard breaker. Um, there's the only person that I've ever got up beside me that was ever able to outbrake me was Xavi Flores on the Ducati. But then we made some changes, then that never happened again, which was awesome. And I mean, that kind of it's funny because we went into Coda and we had a bike that we could brake super late on, and we were pretty evenly matched, I would say. I don't think one of us was necessarily better, but like the final lap of that race was like awesome too. Like, but no, Coda's awesome. It has long sweeping corners. It has fast switchbacks. It has first gear corners. It has sixth gear to second gear straightaway. Like Coda's a very unique track, and um, to have a group at Coda is actually kind of unique. Usually it's really spread out, and this year there was actually some really good racing with a group.
It was. It
So
was
that was
it's
good.
super exciting. Yeah, it is. It's good for the fans too as well. But Cody, you're right. Coda's one of those tracks where normally one or two people take off and break that chain.
Yeah.
And it's hard to make up time at Coda. It's like Daytona. You know, you often see people like at Azure this weekend, and somebody would take off and break away, but first, second, and third would be like within a half a second. But if they just kept slingshotting themselves and working together, they could possibly make up that gap versus where they just come out and be side by side and kind of just battling out. You just let the leader just go and go and go.
Yeah.
It's difficult to make up there at Coda for sure. And then we got, as always, Jersey. And this year at Jersey was unique in its own way because we weren't blessed with all the rain we're usually blessed with at Jersey. So that was exciting. It did rain, I want to say Saturday night, or was it Friday night? I can't
I
remember.
think I forget what it was, but Jersey was also another round, kind of like Loudon, where the weather was actually good to us this
Yep.
year, where it usually rains every year. Uh, I think it was Saturday because there was a few races that were in the wet, I believe, on Saturday. Saturday night, like I think the maybe the bagger race, the Talent Cup, and maybe something else was in the rain. Um, but yeah, Jersey was really good this year. Um, there were some problems with some of you may have heard of some problems with the Dunlops. Basically, people running just super low pressures. I heard some rumors about like 15 psi and stuff, and there was like a mandatory recommended of 20 or 22 psi, and people still go below it. And the tires. I mean, you can't really sustain 15 psi, especially for a race. I mean, Schultz did it in qualifying, and then when PJ did it in the race and the red flag came out, it was kind of surprising. And it sucks for him because that just kind of washed away the championship battle once again this year. So that kind of sucks. I'm good buddies with PJ, and I mean, congratulations to Matt for the championship. I think he said it as well. It's not the way that he would want to end it, like that with like a DNS. But I mean, they're both really respected. It just sucks that the championship ended that way. But I mean, Sunday was good. We switched the tires over to the other tires, and it was pretty good. We were on the podium. We were P2 for the last home race, so that was really good. Had a good battle with Blake at the end there. It was really close at the line, but I mean, Jersey's my home track. I live in like Allentown, Emmaus, Pennsylvania, so it's about an hour and a half from us, and kind of grew up there. Grew up right across the facility at New Jersey Mini GP on Lightning. Now I race professionally on Thunderbolt. And I mean, that's actually kind of how I got into road racing. We went there back in, I believe it was 2016 or 2017. And we were walking around. There was a little exhibition. I was 8 years old, 7 or 8 or 6 maybe. And there's kids on 50s and 110s doing donuts, where the stunt riding, I think there was demos there this year. But there's a big pad where these kids are doing donuts and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I want to do that. I want to try that. And we took, like, I think I was on a KTM 50 at the time, racing flat track. We took that, put some road tires on it. I think we went to my first race was Sandy Hook, and met a lot of good friends. Still really good friends with them today. The William Moore, he helped me out my first race, and that kind of kicked off like my, I would say, road race career at Jersey, seeing them do the demos, and that's kind of how I got into it, and that's why I'm sitting where I am right now. So always a special spot in my heart for Jersey. A lot of people don't like it. It just got repaved, so it's actually really nice now. There's a few small bumps, but the track's good. But I really enjoy riding at Jersey, and for to have a dry year this year, it was really good, and there was a lot of fans out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And again, dude, congratulations on your season. I was there at Jersey. Well, I was there for a lot of the season, but I was there
Yeah,
for Jersey. The last race, you was on the podium. I was there up close and personal, dude, doing the congratulations. It's always great to see my friends on the podium. Again, the emotions and man, your season. I know it didn't go the way you wanted it to, but Tyler, I'm absolutely proud of you and what you achieved this season, man. And I know moving forward in 2026, you got a lot to prove to yourself, right? That you want to do. And my friend, you're going to do it 110%, man. Nothing but belief in you for sure. And you got the best team in the paddock behind you, and your dad's super amazing. And man, you got it all going for you, my friend, for sure. And then,
yeah,
so 2025 is here and gone. And then we got to see each other again at just this weekend past at the Azra uh, Race of Champions, which I got invited by my buddy Kenny Abbott to actually announce that weekend, which was different for me. I had a lot of
yeah.
fun.
How was
Yeah,
it? How did you like doing that?
I loved it. Tyler, it was amazing, man. It was amazing to do the interviews. And I was just like, I remember there Friday, I got there Friday morning with my Daytona set up. I go to the bathroom, I took a selfie, and the text said to my wife was like, how did I get here? Right. And she's like,
Yeah,
dude, you're gonna kill it. Just go out there and be you. And yeah, I got a lot of compliments of the commentating between me and Kenny. And it was just, man, it was a lot of fun. Again, super emotional. Interviewing my friends in Mobile One Victory Lane, right at the Daytona
yeah,
International Speedway. It's it's something I could do for sure,
yeah,
110%. So who knows what the future holds?
yeah. That would be awesome.
It would be.
But yeah, no, Daytona was good. Weather was nice. I mean, Daytona. I feel like every time I go to Daytona, whether it's March or September or October, it's always like 65, sunny and windy. But we tested a lot at Daytona. We were testing for Dunlop mainly. We did the endurance race. We were kind of in the wrong class. We kind of won it, but we kind of didn't. I don't know. We led the race and no one ever passed us, but we got second somehow. Um, but no, Sean Dillon Kelly was there. There was a red flag, unfortunately, at the end, so he didn't really get to ride too much. I mean, he rode previously in the weekend, but I think he rode like 6 laps of that race. But we had a good time. We had fun. We got a lot of good testing in, and we gave Dunlop a lot of time. I think we gave them like a whole day, day and a half. Actually, the whole time we were there, we were testing tires, which was good. Separated the good from the bad, and we came at Daytona like pretty happy with where we're at. And I got the call this week. I was driving down to Tennessee anyways for personal like vacation to like a little truck show, and they go, "Do you do you want to go test at Barber?" And I go, "Yeah, I think it'll be great if we go and test some more." Like I think testing's good, and you can't really overdo it. So we're here today, and tomorrow we're going to do the endurance race, and we actually today was really good for us. We uncovered a lot, and I mean, there wasn't too much traffic out there. We got some decent lap times. We got some 27s, like low 27s today, and just kind of taking our time and just solidifying our plan and setups for next year, especially since Barber. I love Barber too, so it's frustrating that we really didn't do that well this year. So it feels good to be comfortable on the bike at some of the tracks that I was uncomfortable earlier in the season for whatever external reasons.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm gonna go on and make the prediction right now. You, my friend, is not only going to be the Daytona 200 winner, but I have a strong feeling in my gut, dude. You're going to be the Super Sport Championship too, as well. I mean, Skoltz is gone, but even if Skoltz was still in it, you're still my pick to win the championship.
Yeah,
Now that Skoltz went to Superbike, you got my buddy Blake Davis. He's 45 minutes from me. He's a Virginia kid, just like me. Oh, we're not kids anymore. Young adults. I'm an adult. And then we got Kayla and PJ going to Superbike, so he's not going to be there. It's still a stat class, and you, my friend, is
yeah.
is gonna.
Racing with Blake's gonna be fun. He's I grew up racing with him. I actually talked to him a little bit today. He's at Barber as well, and I think it'll be a good year racing with him. And I'm pretty sure he's on the Strock team for next year. I forget what the release was, but I'm pretty sure he signed with them for next year. So it'll be really cool. I think he's going to be one of the top guys. I mean, he was this year. So it'll be really cool battling with him for the championship, I would think.
Yeah, 100%. And then Kayla too. Kayla, I think is going to be up there in the mix too as well. She's got her.
Yeah. I think she made a really big jump this year. I
Yeah,
mean, she's been close and she's been battling I think there was a race where it was me, Kayla, and Blake battling. Like, you just take that picture and you could go back 10 years, and that was us 10 years ago. So
yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool that we're all progressing up. Yeah.
110%. We got Cali Shawn Racing says go international, Scott. You're already the best in the US. I can't disagree.
Yeah, I did the Red Bull Rookies Cup in 2019. I also did some Spanish series in
Yeah.
2020. And then kind of there was no doors that were open for me over there. They At the time they don't really like Americans that much. They like Spaniards a little bit better. But no, all jokes. But I had a great time over there. I learned a lot. But I mean, the goal right now is, I mean, I won the Junior Cup championship. We've had some inconsistencies, ups and downs in super sport. But I mean, I just need to start winning some championships over here. And then down the road, if the opportunity for whatever comes up, I mean, I think it would be logical to bite at it maybe down the road. And I'm 19 now. I'll be 20 in December. So I mean, there's a lot of time still, I think, for those opportunities to pop up. But the goal for right now is America, Super Sport and Superbike, and then the championships.
Yeah, and then BSB championship, then World Superbike championship 12 times over. Yeah, dude, it's
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I think the future of our sport, man, is going to be 600s anyway, just to be
Yeah.
honest with you. I just don't see superbikes sticking around in the foreseeable future. I'm not saying it might be 5
Yeah.
years, it might be 10 years down the line, but I just don't see that being sustainable how expensive everything is right now, you know.
Yeah, there's rumors too, like manufacturer rumors of the Superbike going away, and like I don't really care either way. I like I'm here to win races, whether it's on the super sport bike or the super bike, and I'm here to make a living and win races and put on a good show for everyone at home and everyone watching and have good battles and good racing. And I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. And if you, I think super sport is, as far as the competitors go, it's peaking again where it did, let's say, probably 10 years ago, when it was 600 Super Sport with JD Beach and Garrett Gerloff. And I think it's peaking with the new generation like me, Caleb Blake, all these young kids coming up. I know there was a kid at kid at Daytona that was going really quick on a 750 that's going to be coming up, and I hope to see him in the class next year, in the upcoming few years. But there's definitely some kids that are coming up out of the New Jersey Mini GP, even from other countries like Australia and Europe, that are really fast. So it's good to see them coming in and boosting the talent and the difficulty to win these races. I mean, winning races is very fun, but it's more fun when it's earned.
Yeah, 110%. I cannot disagree with anything you just said. It's yeah. So Bob Dunn wants to know if will you be at Barber on Saturday?
I will not be at Barber on Saturday. Tomorrow is our last day here.
And then he also says, "Great job, Tyler."
Thank you. I
Um,
appreciate it.
yeah, man, Tyler's the man. At Ohio, I never forget. I was sitting there talking to Lucy Blondell, and I look over, and Tyler, you come straight up on me, like, "What's up, Simcoe?" And I was like, "Dude, what's up, man?" Yeah, it's always an honor to see you, my friend. And that's where I actually met my good buddy Will Lynn. So he says Thursday night with Pin the Gas. Awesome. So I met Will at Mid Ohio. It was his first time doing the lollipop gig.
Okay.
And I was actually the lollipopper with him that weekend, which was a lot of fun. It was different. Did an actual interview with Philip Tone in the media center that weekend too
Okay.
as well. It's different working the grid because it's you're really up close and personal on right there on the start, which is
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. So, Will, my friend, it was good to see you at Jersey. Only seen him for a day, and then he left and went. He lives in North Carolina, so he's not too far from me at all. Um, let's see. Paul McKee says Davis and Scott at the GNF tomorrow. This weekend should be fire. Absolutely, it will.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
And then CVN says Superbike needs to just be super stock like most other national series. It would allow more riders to compete at the top of that class.
Yeah. I'm not sure what Blake's doing. I'm pretty sure he's on the doing the endurance. I'm not exactly sure what team he's on. I rode with him for a little bit today. I forget the name of the team that he's on. Hunter Dunham's down here too. Taylor Knapp, some good riders. So it should be a good race tomorrow. And then um, on that Superbike comment, it's a little bit political, especially with the manufacturers and I mean everything like that. And it doesn't matter to me. It My opinion on it is wherever I can win races and make a living, and we'll just have to see. I mean, everyone can say, "Oh, this is going to be the future. This is going to be the future." It'll eventually surface up with a definitive answer, but as of right now, the Superbike is staying for 2026, and I mean that's all that matters.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I love your everything you're saying and your attitude towards it. It's like I don't care what I'm on. I'm just gonna win. It don't matter what it is. Just put me on those two wheels, and I'm gonna make it happen. And yeah, that's part of your legendary status to think like that. It don't matter what bike I'm on. I'm going to do it. So, and then of course, we're over an hour into this already, Tyler. I know you got some testing to do, so I don't want to keep you too much longer. You guys stay tuned because me and Tyler will be doing this again here at the beginning of the season. But real quick, I want to talk about because I asked Chris when I get to do that two-up ride. We had mentioned it earlier. So yeah, man, you got to tell us your experience of the magical two-up ride.
So I've never done a two-up ride with Chris Ulrich, the owner of the team that I race on, Vision Wheel M4 Ecstar Suzuki team, with him and his dad. But I've done it with N2. I think it was with Rob both times. But I do believe Chris is probably the best guy in the country to do it with. I mean, he's probably done the most of them ever. I did them at a YCRS school. I think I was 12 at the time. I was a little and young. I could barely touch the ground uh on an R3. I think I did one when I was 8. I could barely touch the ground on an R3. There's a video of me coming down the straightaway at Jersey, and they had to catch the bike because both my feet were about a foot and a half off the ground. Um, but no, the two up ride, the first time I per there's very few people that I've ever talked to that don't like doing them. I've done two. The first one was the scariest thing I've ever done in my life, hands down. And I've had gnarly crashes. I've had close call. Like that was probably scariest thing in my life because nothing bad happened, but it just felt scary the whole time. The second time wasn't bad, but I closed my eyes the whole time from when he put it into gear, and I just pretended it was a roller coaster, and I just held on and just like stayed completely straight and just imagined I was on a roller coaster. And then when the bike stopped, I opened my eyes. I'm like, oh, that was fun. But a lot of people do have fun on them. I think it was just a control thing with me, and it was on a stock bike. I mean, the the road racing world. I don't know the exact name for it, but I think it's the Road Racing World 2 Up bike. I mean, all the funds from the 2 Up to purchase the ride goes to Road Racing World Air Fence Fund, and I mean those things have saved me i- a couple times in the past years when I've had bad crashes. So I'm really thankful for that program and Chris and John doing that and raising the money for that. But the two up ride is really a good experience to put in perspective like the pace that we're going um and you can feel like what the bike's doing. And I mean it's super safe. It's just for me it was just uncomfortable for me, but like everyone that does it has fun, like pretty much everyone. So highly suggest that if you've never tried it, at least take it for try it out once. And like if you are uncomfortable, I think you tap them or you do something and he'll slow down. I mean it's very like professional. What I did wasn't necessarily professional. It was like, oh, I'll get it on the back of this bike and just ripping on a stock like with like cold DOTs. So it was a little scary where Chris's is like a professional setup thing. Um but I 100% recommend if you've never done it. It's really good to put into perspective like the forces and how fast we're actually going because TV and even watching in person doesn't give you that feeling. It's almost like I don't know, it's like when you go over 100 in your car, it feels so fast. But like if someone were to take a video of you, it just look normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, the two up ride's very very good to put into perspective of what we're actually doing and the sh- the the stress and the forces that are actually applying for 45 minutes, or if we're talking the Daytona 200 up to like 2 hours on the bike. And it kind of just gives you a little bit of mindset of what it's like to professionally race, or it's fun to actually it may be fun for you if you are a racer, or if you're trying to learn some more, maybe that could show you some things.
Oh, 110%. And speaking of that, I always give a shout out to Road Racing World. And I tell everybody, go to roadracingworld.com, sign up and donate for the air fence. It's imperative that we have it because if we didn't have the air fence and corner marshal workers, guess what? We're not going to watch Tyler Scott go out there and ride wheelies and win races. We're going to be at home, and so will he. So,
Yeah.
yeah, go to Road Racing World, donate to the air fence. It's imperative. And like Tyler just said,
Yeah.
he often brings that 2 up bike to a lot of these MotoAmerica rounds, and you donate and you get on the back of that thing. I can't wait for mine. It's going to be yeah, super exciting. I can't wait. But listen, Tyler, man, this has been a lot of fun, man. I don't want to keep you any longer. I know you got some testing to do, and you're there with your friends and your family, man. So it's been an honor. And again, before I let Tyler end the podcast with all his shout outs and all that, 2026 is coming up. I will be at Daytona. Tyler's going to be at Daytona. So please, when you're there, stop by, say hello, get a picture, get an autograph, buy some merch if Tyler's going to have some there.
I
And
should. I should. I think I'm gonna do uh, at m- at the minimum. I will have hats at Daytona. Um, I really haven't told anyone about that, but I did some samples with one of my buddies that runs a performance shop, and I think I'll have like some embroidered hats or something at Daytona, and then maybe we'll make some new shirts.
well, I know I'm definitely getting me a shirt and a hat for sure. But yeah, so listen, before I let Tyler give all his shout outs again, thank you guys and girls so much for watching the podcast. If it wasn't for Tyler and everybody coming on here, I would not be able to do this. And I love each and every single one of you. I appreciate all the likes and subscribing and all the messages I get from everybody. It's an absolute honor to be able to do this. And Tyler, man, thank you so much for sitting back down with me. I always have a proper mega time with you on the
Yeah,
podcast.
I have a great time, man.
So, but tell everybody where they can find you and support you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, no, you can find me on Instagram, Tyler Scott Racer, Facebook, Tyler Scott. I mean, if you have any questions, just feel free to message me, give me a text on Instagram, something like that. I'll be down in Florida, let's say the Brooksville area, like Spring Hill, 45 minutes north of Tampa, training from basically the very end of December after Christmas to the March Daytona 200. So if any of you guys are down there, let me know. We'll go to a moto track. We'll do some supermoto, bicycle, anything. I mean, always looking for more people to train and get better, get better together. And it'll be a good time. And want to thank everyone for tuning in.
Yeah, absolutely. In this episode, so the last time, Tyler, when I had you on, it took a day for me to release it everywhere. Literally within 30 minutes after I end this podcast, it's going to be out everywhere, Spotify, iHeart, and all that good stuff. So
Awesome.
I'll tag in all the social medias again. I appreciate it. And let's get together before the beginning of, right before Daytona March takes off, and we'll sit down again and talk about, everything that happened in the off season and going into Daytona. And yeah, Kyle Casey, what is up, man? He says, hell yeah.
How's it going, man?
Yeah, dude, freaking awesome, man. But yeah, so listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute honor tonight to sit down with the legend, Tyler Scott. Thank you so much, Tyler. Man,
Thank you.
enjoy the rest of your weekend, my friend, and I will talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
See you guys.
See ya.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.